Hi guys, in this video we will be learning about virtualization. So let's assume this is you and this is your machine, right? This is your laptop. Now your laptop will have some hardware properties which will allow it to run operating system on your machine. So let's say some of your machine properties are your memory, your disk space, your NIC card for your networking, and let's say your CPU. Okay, these are some of the hardware properties of your machine. Now let's assume you are using a Windows operating system, right? Let's say you are using Windows 10. Now, since in the starting I told you that you are a cybersecurity student, right? So you have to learn different operating system, right? You need to learn about Linux, right? You need to master the tools for your Linux frameworks which are available in your Linux, right? But your machine is having Windows 10. The problem is this. Okay. Now you have two options. Either you spend some money to purchase a new machine which is having your Linux OS, okay, or you purchase a cloud lab, okay, you purchase a cloud lab. Here also, again, you have to spend some good amount of money. But since we are the student, right, we don't want to spend too much of money. So you came up to me and you told me your problem that Yash, I want to learn Kali, but my machine is having Windows 10 and I don't want to spend too much money to purchase a new machine or to get a cloud lab. Okay. So since I'm your good friend, I have to suggest you something, right? I have to help you. So I will introduce you to my friend, which is your hypervisor. Okay. Now, what this hypervisor will do to you? It will act as an abstract layer which will help you separate the tight coupling between your hardware and your operating system. Okay, so what we will do at this particular point, okay, at this place, right on top of your operating system, we will install a hypervisor. We will install a hypervisor. Now, this hypervisor will help you to run your Linux by using your hardware functions. This hypervisor will be acting as an abstract layer between your hardware functions and your operating system. And over your hypervisor, you can create different guest operating system environments. Okay, this thing we can do. So over your hypervisor, let's say we created a Linux environment, right? We are trying to run your Linux operating system. Other than that, let's say we are trying to run your Mac OS and some machine. Okay, another, let's assume your Windows XP. Again, because we are learning, we want to run different operating system. Now what this hypervisor will do, it will create a separate environment for each and every operating system. Okay, each and every operating system which are running on it, and it will allow these operating system to run your functions over this operating system by using your hardware function. Okay, and one more property, it will make sure that these machines are never interacting with each other. Okay, these machines are never interacting with each other and also they are not interacting with your base machine, your base operating system. Okay, so each environment will have their own bin file, your applications, your library files, right? These things will have different properties with respect to different operating system. So here also your Mac will have some different binary files, different bin files, different library files, different applications. Similarly, your Windows will have different bin files, your library files, and your different applications. Okay, so now you can see, without spending too much money on your new machine or on a cloud lab, what we did, we started using our own machine hardware to run different operating system over my base operating system. Okay, my Windows 10 will be called base operating system, and operating system over your hypervisor, these things will be called your guest OS, guest operating system. Or we can also say these are your virtual machines, these are your VMs. Now in this scenario, this hypervisor will be called type 2 hypervisor. Okay, in this scenario, this hypervisor will be called your type 2 hypervisor. This is your type 2 hypervisor. So again, if I define type 2 hypervisor, your type 2 hypervisors will run on your operating system, your base operating system, just as other computer programs, right? Just like your, let's say your WhatsApp, if you have a WhatsApp application over your operating system, or let's say if you have a Docker application, right? So just like these applications, your type 2 hypervisor will also act as a program which will run on your base operating system, right? But what it will do, again, to remember the function, it will create an abstract layer between your hardware functions and your base operating system, so that your guest operating systems can start utilizing the functions which are available in your machine, your hardware function, right? Now this is type 2. Now if we are talking about type 2, there will also be a type 1 hypervisor, right? So what your type 1 hypervisor will do, it will directly sit on your hardware. Okay, if let's say this is our hardware, so in this scenario we will not have any base operating system. Your type 1 hypervisor will directly sit on your hardware itself. And over this particular hypervisor we will have different guest operating system: guest OS 1, guest OS 2, guest OS 3, and guest OS, let's say, 4. So each guest OS will have different bin files, different library files, and different applications over here. Okay, so these are your two hypervisors which are used for your virtualization technology. This is your type 1 hypervisor. And since it is sitting directly on your hardware, this is also called bare metal hypervisor. Okay, this is also called bare metal hypervisor. So some of the examples of this particular hypervisor, your type 1 hypervisor, is your Microsoft Hyper-V, Microsoft Hyper-V, your VMware ESX, or your ESX side. These are few examples of your type 1 hypervisor. Examples of your type 2 hypervisor. These are your VMware workstation, your and your VirtualBox. These are few examples of your type 2 hypervisor.